Ge Holla, G dot holla.
Shout out to Ge Holla.
To Ge Holla.
Holla.
Ge Holla.
Holla.
Ge Holla. My God, Ge Holla.
Boy Ge Holla.
Shout out to Ge Holla, and also let me holler at you for your 1 million accomplishments. You
Okay, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, man. We're bringing to you the finest of this hour, this top of this 2022, or this winter solstice going into the spring equinox, whatever knowledge and wisdom that you own, you know what I'm saying? We can't judge you, but just know that it doesn't make sense for the new year to be in the winter when everything is hibernating, dead, or sleeping, as our ancestors said. It is the true New Year's when it hits that spring solstice, when everything springs back forward, all that life. Even you start coming outside more when it gets a little warmer. I don't care where you from. We just like the warm climate in nature. With that, speaking of warm, man, I'm bringing to you, hey, man, this is a young genius, you know what I'm saying? I need for you all to spring forward into this equinox and buy into all of this young man products and services that he's offering, that he's bringing to you. I mean, you'll never see this again in your lifetime. Just think, just like we wrote about all these great people in these Bibles and these texts and these Qurans and all this great thing, those great people would not stop being made because they were stopped written about and spoken about under these religious and spiritual contexts. We have a new wave of young Christ, young soldiers out there, man, representing and putting it down for their culture through their voices. To me, that sounds like a prophet. I don't know what you all say or think, but that's cool. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the show, Ge Holla. What's happening, my man? What's going on with you?
Yes, sir, brother. How you doing, man? I appreciate that intro.
Hey, man, you know what I'm saying? Peace, love, and light. I feel you. I'm on it, man. I'm with you. So take us back into your origin story, because to me, man, you're like a superhero. You know what I'm saying? You're no different from Spider-Man, the Spider-Verse. You know what I'm saying? Neo, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I'm from Indiana originally. Yeah, from Hammond, Indiana.
Okay. What are your influences out there in Indiana?
You said my influences?
Who influenced you out there in the music business?
I mean, I guess directly like Michael Jackson and Prince, Midwest artists, I would say was what I was first exposed to probably as a kid. So the Jacksons, because they're from Gary, which is pretty close to me. But I really wasn't into music as a kid. I didn't start that process to a full grown adult in my 20s. So the influences just came from whatever my dad was listening to, a lot of Motown stuff, a lot of rock music. But I really wasn't influenced, I would say, directly.
Okay, no, I feel that. I feel what you're saying. You know, for the people that's not from there, you know, let the people know there are a lot of like black and brown people all over the place, because we think we hit those places like we don't see nobody on TV looking like us. What's the culture like?
I can't really say it is a culture, honestly. I mean, I was fortunate enough to have like a good dad, and that was my support system. And so aside from that, I really wasn't too observant about my perception of the rest of the world. I was just kind of just in my own world. My culture existed in my family and my dad, and that's the extent that I could say Indiana has a culture as far as what I experienced.
No, that's cool. That's cool. Isolation, you know what I'm saying, for dedication. I get it. You know what I'm saying? So at what point did you, in the 20s, did you start writing your own music and saying like, I think I could do this?
I don't even remember when it started, but whenever I got to college, it was college that triggered it. So from me stepping on campus to when I graduated, I was involved in music pretty much any way I could, whether it was like open mics or, rapping. Mostly it was rapping. The singing stuff didn't come till I moved to LA. So it was primarily rapping and being competitive in that field. So that's kind of where I sharpened the skills for writing, was, more so open mic and, just more freestyle based events.
What was it like for you and your experience as soon as you touched down in LA? Because I know everything was way different. I know you said the culture was within your family, but hitting LA was like, wow, it's live out here. I'm about to go get busy. How did you feel?
Yeah, I mean, it was really scary, to be honest. Just stepping out on faith, I guess, and unfamiliar territory. I didn't know anybody in LA. I didn't know. I had like just a job lined up, like a little summer job, and so I just Yeah, I wouldn't recommend anybody do what I did. It was a lot very extreme, and I would recommend having people and having a lot of money saved. But that's not how life works. So you just got to go in and attack when you feel like it's right.
That's right. I agree. When you eventually have children one day, are you going to follow through that same model of not kicking them out at 18 because they possibly could not be ready? How you feel about that?
I mean, my dad didn't kick me out, but I had life. I went to college, and I wanted to leave. So it wasn't like he always let me come back to visit and stay as long as I wanted. So I'll be the same way with my kids, most likely. Like, as long as you're ambitious, you gotta have that quality. Or I know if I wasn't ambitious, my dad probably wouldn't let me stay around the house and just sleep all day. So you gotta have a plan of action always. But yeah, they always gotta.
Okay, no, hey, I'm with it, man. I'm with it. Ice Cube once said, he said, man, I don't care how old this kid is, they can always come back. So I'm with you. It makes sense. Are you the type of person now in your life? Will you decide are you going to teach your children about owning their own business if they're into it versus working for someone? How do you feel about that?
Yeah, definitely. My dad encouraged me to be entrepreneurial, and I think that because I worked jobs, but I never saw myself in it long term. I just always knew I had to figure out a way to work on my own